Hi guys. Able to hear me?
Yes, Pawan.
Okay. Okay. Good. Give me 1 minute.
Okay.
Okay. Rekha, you asked something? So you want one example? Okay, there. Hello. Okay.
Okay, can you hear me?
Right, right.
Okay. So
So
I
you
wanted
asked?
to use one example showing everything,
Mm-hmm.
top level, detail, context level, basic flow, cross-functional flow.
Mm-hmm.
So everything, using one example, show me everything on that.
So you're asking for one example for all diagonals, all kind of diagonals?
That is correct. Like, I'm a little confused about this detail EFD, top level, and the context level.
Uh-huh.
If you
So
take
what is
one
the issue?
example,
See, if I tell multiple examples or one example, it will same, right? So not
no,
understanding the, if not able to understand the concept, if I tell again also the same thing. No, better to resolve the issue first. Okay. So what is the issue, and where exactly you are not able to understand, what you are not able to understand, so that I'll explain one thing.
if it's possible, just by taking one example, can explain all these things. It's good. I don't
So
know.
give me 1 second. Okay. Tell me. Take that. Tell me.
Yeah, if it is possible, I need to know one example showing all these things.
No, it's definitely possible, but before showing the example, I would like to understand what is the issue. I would like to understand the issue, where you confused, and so that we'll try to rectify that, right?
I don't know myself.
Oh my God. Into that? No, are you clear with concepts? You know what you mean by top level DFD?
I requested to send you the recording for last two class. Uh,
Yeah. So today I'll do that, I'm a bit busy, Rekha. Sorry for that. Today definitely I'll do that, okay?
I wanted to go through really because I don't know, I was not well, like I couldn't concentrate sometimes. So
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's fine. Okay, it's not an issue. Today I'll send you all the recorded sessions so far. Just go through them and let me know if you have any issues.
yeah, one firstly for yesterday and day before yesterday, 2 class.
Sure, I'll do it.
They're given the assignment and we have to use all these things on that. For one example, so I'm not sure how to proceed.
Okay. So, give me 1 second. Anush Sharma started working on DFD. Okay, I'll show you that, okay? So that you'll get at least understanding what she is doing. So, this is what she prepared, okay? This is for first case study. That is banks 1. She able to prepare contact level DFD. Like, are you able to see my desktop?
Yeah.
So this is what the main process. So Kailash State Bank's process for home and car loan system. So she identified the 3 external entities. So one is customer. 3 external entities is going to interact with the main system. Main system called as a process management system. This is bank process management system. And when customer interact with the process management system, definitely customer will going to have some kind of request. Based on the request, he is going to get a response. As simple as this, right? So she done with the contextual DFD. Now what she is trying to do is, it to complete. So she started off preparing top level DFD. She is going to divide this main system, whatever the main process I am showing here, this she is going to divide into different top models, like, approval system, like checking system, credit checking system, or like, registration, maybe application. So pre-approval, post-approval.
Okay.
So she is trying to divide into main processes. And when you have a main processes, then you can have a relationship between the main processes. Rekha, you got that?
Yeah.
It's a simple record. Now what you do is, I will send you the recorded sessions today, okay? Just go through them. If you guys, not only Rekha, anyone, guys, if you are not able to understand something, definitely we'll go and have one more class, or we'll dedicate for the DFDs and I'll explain. No need to worry. Okay?
Okay.
Don't think that we done and we never going to go back. Okay? Okay. So the next one, so
I have a
yesterday,
question.
who is that?
Answer.
Go ahead, answer.
Do we have to use a legend for every diagram?
Legend means what?
Showing each
Color?
shape, what it means?
No
The
need.
shape, the arrows.
No need.
Okay.
No need. So you mean to say you want to specify what is this and what is this and what is this?
Yeah.
No need. So if you are using something which if someone not understand, okay, just for that use legends. Answer. Suppose you are giving this one, loop, okay? Now I don't know what you mean by this. I can easily understand when I look at the customer, when I look at the loan application, when I look at this process. Okay? But few notations you cannot understand by looking at the notation, right? For those notations you have to provide legend. Okay? Is that clear, Antra?
Yeah.
Right. And one more situation when you have to use legends is, suppose you are giving some kind of color. Think that I have given some color to this. So, when you are giving a color, please try to mention the legend saying that, okay, just copy this, same thing, paste, and say external entity. So, just use text and write that, okay, this is external entity. Okay? So, this means that now you have to use the same color for all external entities so that it is going to be in sync. When you are using colors, also you need to go with the legends. Okay, otherwise people don't understand why this guy used these colors. Okay? That is one situation you have to use legends. Right. So yesterday we discussed about use cases. Yeah, Anita, go ahead. Someone?
I understood what you said, but I'm not sure how much I can do. If I do something wrong, are you going to correct it?
Definitely.
Okay, thank you.
No, I'm here for that, right? I'll take care of it.
Okay, thank you.
I'll going to look into each and every assignment and I will provide my comments.
That's what we need, Pavan.
Definitely. That kind of things is going to be there. Otherwise, it's going to be a bit difficult for you guys to understand the process. Okay, Rekha, you're saying something.
Yeah, on my this flowchart, this grid was not showing grid meaning this thing like when you make page plain this icon was not showing. So how do I make this icon come on my screen?
Okay, I'm not getting what you're saying. Just give me.
Grid meaning when you open the file.
No, give me 1 second. I'll make you present there and show us so that we can rectify easily. Now you are the presenter, Rekha. Just show us, close your desktop. Rekha is there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm just trying to.
You have an option called share my desktop, right?
Did I not do that? Can you see my desktop now?
No. I have clicked on share my desktop option. Yeah, now we are able to see. Show me.
Okay, and this thing, when you make this page plain, it's not, the icon is not here.
You have to right click, go there, the toolbar section, right, the play. Yeah. You have to select all other toolbars also, action, data, developer, drawing, format, select all. One by one. You don't have option colors all.
Can I not do all?
Yeah, select all.
How do I do select all?
One by one. Yeah.
Oh, one by one. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you not do all together?
No. You can do, but I don't tell that. Now arrange them in sequence.
But how do I arrange them?
Just drag and drop. Go to left, right side of the toolbar. But
Yes.
no. Below one, right side, extreme right side. Left side, sorry. Now take and place on that. Okay, now you see the grid?
Yeah, this one.
Right,
Oh, okay. Thanks, Pavan.
right, no issues.
I'll arrange them later. Okay.
Right.
You have to just drag and drop there, right? On the
That's
top.
it. Right.
Thanks.
So, anyone has any doubts? So far, guys? So about use cases? Now, today I sent two more case studies. So please work on those things also and try to complete use case diagram and documentation. Okay.
So when is the use case documentation and diagram due?
you guys need to tell them that. So the due date for BFD system flowcharts, cross-functional flowcharts for two case studies is going to be what? Monday, right?
Yeah.
So when you guys able to do for use case? Tell me that also so that Wednesday is fine for me. Even Tuesday also fine for me. Nothing can tell you. Rekha, Anu Sharma.
Is everybody okay with Wednesday?
Yeah, fine.
Wednesday. See, we are asking about LOE. Try to apply everything in real time. So don't say, the things like, yeah, we'll do it. If you join any company, you'll say same thing. LOE. Okay? Wednesday is fine. Good. Rekha, is that fine for you? I'm not hearing from you.
Yeah, I wanted to do by Monday, in fact, because I work, so I cannot do on Wednesday. So oh, I thought we are postponing.
No. That's never going to happen in my class, postponing stuff.
Okay, thanks. Sure.
Okay. Right, guys, yesterday we discussed about use cases and how we need to prepare use case documentation and diagram part. Okay. Today I sent some examples, some case studies, the PPTs also, the use cases, DFDs, system flowchart PPTs also. Just go through them and just let me know if you have any concerns and issues on it. Okay. Now we're going to start about activity diagrams. Just write down the activity diagram shows system flow. Activity diagram. Just try to understand the notations.
Are you sharing your desktop, Pawan? We are not able to see your desktop.
Really? Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Now?
Yes.
Okay, good. So activity diagrams. Try to understand the notations. This notation used for activity or event state. Okay. This is going to be transition flow. Activity / state, transition flow. Thick horizontal or thick vertical line is used for fold or merge or join. Okay. Start fulfilled one is going to be stop. What is this? What is this notation?
Vision.
No, here it is going to be branch. Shilpa, yesterday you asked, right? Can we give like this notation to divide two different processes, right?
Yeah.
Right, here you can use. In activity diagrams, you can use branch, this notation for branch as well as decision, both, okay? Okay, here the notation name is branch.
So what's the difference between SFC and activity diagram?
So, it's both are same, that is going to be structured analysis, this is going to be object-oriented analysis and design. The purpose is going to be same. Okay?
So in SFC we try to put everything in that, right? Like each and every step will be
Here also
written
we'll do same.
chart. Okay, so basically there's no difference, is there?
No difference. The flexibility is going to be more with activity diagrams compared to system flowcharts.
Okay.
Okay.
Like in what situation we use
Yeah.
that and in this situation?
No, that is what I'm telling you, right? When you are opting for object-oriented analysis and design, so when you start with the use cases, always go with activity diagrams. Don't go with SFCs. Okay?
Okay.
So if someone is specifying, your project manager and someone is specifying, please use system flowcharts, you have to use system flowcharts with the use cases. So people won't say, use activity diagram. Some people will say,
Okay. So you mean to say by default we need to do the activity diagrams. If someone says specifically SFC, then only we need to go for system flowcharts. Is it?
yes, it depends on the situation. But it's kind of, someone asking you to prepare something, you need to be ready. Okay?
Okay, got it.
Right. If you are preparing use cases, definitely you will go with activity diagrams. And someone will say, okay, please use use case diagrams and use SFCs. Don't use activities. Still you have to do it, right? So there we are combining structure as well as object-oriented analysis. Okay?
Okay, got it.
Right. This branch, Mukta, the notation is branch notation. Activity state, transition flow, the fork and merge, start, stop, branch, and this dotted lines, swim lines. This is swim lines, guys. Okay, this notation is for swim lines.
Someone, what's the last one?
Swim line. Swim lanes.
Oh, okay.
Now, if you observe swimming pool, we're going to have a lane in the swimming pool, right? To divide
Yeah.
participants, the same stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The concept is same. Okay?
Didn't we use swim lanes for cross-functional
Yes,
SFC?
you got it. So the same stuff. There in the structured analysis, we use cross-functional flowchart. Here we'll say it's a swim lane concept. Same. Is that Andhra? You asked that.
Yeah.
Okay. The same stuff. There it is going to be cross-functional, here it is going to be swim lines. Okay. There we'll say bands, here we'll say swim lines. Okay. Right. So these notations we are going to use to draft activity diagrams. Okay. It's going to be very simple. Just try to understand the concept. I'll try to show how to prepare activity diagram. So basic activity diagrams to complex activity diagram. Okay, first I'll go with simple activity, the basic activity diagram using this notation. Now, what is the notation to start the process? What notation I have to use to start?
Dotted round.
Right, okay. Start. Now, first, let me write here, okay. So, which example will take? Okay. same applying for CC, I would like to prepare a activity diagram. The first activity is what? Activity is a process, right? What is the first activity? Yesterday we discussed about use cases for the same example, right? Tell me the activity.
Going to website.
Okay. Here you need to be more specific, right? Enter bank website. Customer enters. Who enters? Customer. You have to write that. What is the next activity? Anyone? Anita, anyone? So what is the next activity?
With application, self-application form.
Direct application. Right. So you're going to have so many cards, right? So many different types of cards, right?
Yeah.
Now I want to show them also. So I want to show different processes for different credit cards. So I want to use a notation called as thick horizontal or thick vertical line. What is that? That is used for what?
Merge.
Merge and what? For other one?
Join.
Four. Dividing. Yeah, 4. So the same thing, same notation you are going to use it for dividing, and the same notation you are going to use it for merging also. Okay. So now choose type of CC. I am trying to divide into some MasterCard, credit card, and this activity is going to be different because each card is going to have a different process, even application also. So platinum card, because eligibility is different, eligibility criteria is also different, right? And gold card. So now I have divided the choose credit card activity into 3 different activities, the parallel activities. One is Master CC, the other one is Platinum CC, and the other one is Gold CC. Okay. Now, if I go with the Master, suppose customer choose the Master card, okay, the activity is going to be different. Maybe the customer will say, for this also activity is different. This also activity is different. So once I complete the activity, I have to merge these 3 activities and I have to connect to the main process. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to use again same thick parallel line, and I'm trying to connect all these to, and I'm going with the main process. So once you're done with application, so submit is going to be common. So I'll done with the submit. Once I submit, okay, show confirmation message, okay, then stop. So here, so when you submit, okay, think that we need to validate. So we need to validate with the credit bureau whether this guy is really eligible, whether this guy is not defaulter, kind of thing, right? For that we can use what we can use. We can use what notation I have to use here?
Branch.
Right. So I have to use branch notation to see. I'm trying to branch it. So one will go with new, no, one will go with a yes. So here I'm not saying decision. I'm saying 2 parallel process. One is yes, one is no. So I'm branching the stuff. So if it is yes, okay, show confirmation message. If no, show error message. show error message, sorry. Show error message, and whether you show confirmation message or whether you show error message, once you show error message, again customer will going to enter and submit again. So this is going to be the activity diagram by applying all the notations. So if you see like start, activity, dividing and merging. So we're going to use 6 parallel lines to divide as well as to merge. And we use branch for, branching 2 parallel processes. And we're going to stop the process. Is that clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Right. When we use Streamline. Yeah, the next one I'll go with this.
I have a
It's
question.
called activity diagram.
Yeah, this is called as activity diagram. Andra, I have a question. Go ahead.
Yeah, the error message is it's part of the exceptional flow, right? So how can it be part of the main flow?
See, once you show the error message, what you're going to do? You're going to leave customer like that. So you enter wrong information, you are displaying error message. Are you going to guide customer or you are just going to leave customer? Andra?
He filled up wrong information, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, definitely. When you submit, see, he is not eligible. Okay? So the credit bureau says he is not eligible.
He's not eligible for,
Credit card.
okay, maybe he's a student and he's applying for a platinum card.
Maybe he is an employee, but he is a defaulter.
Okay.
You know what you mean by defaulter?
Yeah.
Now people will take loans, they're never going to pay, and they're going to become defaulter. Okay, normally companies won't provide credit cards and loans to those people.
I think in our case, it's more of like they will see the credit score. If your credit score is low,
Right.
then they will not, they will not give you a
Right.
platinum.
So more meaningful you can write rather than error message reject, so that you're going to get
Yeah,
it.
that's what rejected rather than an error message. Yeah,
Right.
that's what I was.
Reject. Okay? And approve. Okay? Now it's clear?
Yeah.
Right. Rekha, you're asking something?
No problem, I'm okay.
Okay. Right. Now, what I'll try to do is, for the same process, I'll try to use a streamline concept. For the same activity diagram, I'll try to use streamline concept. Just try to observe how we can do that. So, the streamline concept is used to divide different processes, okay, in given system. So, same, just like a cross-functional flow diagram. What we'll do in the cross-functional flow diagram? So we'll divide the main modules and we're going to show the complete system flow chart for entire system, right? Here also, we can show the same thing using streamline concept. Suppose the first is going to be customer, right? The next is going to be EC apply. The next is going to be verification, credit verification, and the next is going to be once verified. So next what you are going to get? You are going to get approval process. You can mention, you can mention approval process. No, not approval process. Think that shipping. Okay, you are going to ship the credit card to the customer. Okay. Now, customer, first what customer, we are going to start the activity here. Okay. What customer will do? Customer will maybe register or he may log in also. I'm just giving example here. Okay, this is not real. So once he registered, again he is going to log in. Okay. again is come to the next module. See, I'm done with the customer module. The customer is now communicating with the next module. The next module called as apply. So, in order to apply, what he'll do is, he'll choose the credit card option. So, credit card type. So, as we know that, okay, there are different types of credit cards. So, that we have to divide into parallel process using thick notation, thick vertical or horizontal lines, something like this. This has the different process, okay, and something like this. Now, I'm not using notations correctly, okay. So, next what I'm doing is, I'm trying to match all this process and I'm trying to submit. When I submit, the next process goes to this, where verification module. So, the verification module is going to have a different process. So, verify with the outside CIBIL system or credit bureau system. So, once you get, so you will going to have a branch here. Yes, it will go to the next module. If no, it will going to be rejected. Okay. So if yes, okay, acknowledgement and shipping. So then we end the process. So we have end the process. When the reject also, it should go to the end process. So we have rejected the card. So we have to, okay, exit the process. Okay, now we are done with the credit card application, approval and sending. See, this is complete activity diagram for credit card application, verification and shipping. Is everyone clear how to use streamlines? What is the use of streamlines? Okay. Any doubts, guys? Okay, cool. So it's just like a cross-functional flowchart. There we'll divide modules using bands in MS Visio. Here we are going to use streamlines to divide modules, and there will give a connectivity between one module to other module. Here also will give the same stuff, but the notation, so here we have a concept called as, dividing the system into parallels, like, use fork and, use merge notation. But in system flowcharts, we don't have anything like that. We just normally, give parallel process by connecting to the main process. We don't have any specific notation, something like this.
This comes under activity diagrams,
Based
right?
on the situation.
Before also, just
Go ahead.
using different notations, that's it.
Right.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
So I have used only one other additional notation, that is streamline. Okay? So like basic flowcharts and cross-functional flowcharts. Here is a basic activity diagram using streamline.
Yes, Pawan.
Okay? That clear? Right. So what I can do is, I'll show you one project so that you get an understanding. Give me 1 second. Right. I'll send you the BA templates also once we're done this week, I think. Next Monday, I'll send you the templates and I'll explain about the templates also. You're going to use all these templates. Preparing meeting minutes, issue logs, the parties, SRS, scope statements, change management, how to handle change requests. These things are going to be very important for the business analyst. I'll go and explain each and every template and try to go through this. I'll send this also. Okay, even testing template also is there. I'll do that. Okay, and apart from that, we have interview questions also. Let me show you that. So this is going to be interview questions for BA. Okay, this interview questions divided, sections wise, general questions. So, and SDLC related questions. You'll observe you're going to have SDLC related. See, the second category is going to be SDLC questions, and you're going to have questions from requirements management, requirements gathering related, and other questions related to UML. See, this is going to be inferred modeling language. Explain about use cases. So here we given even examples also, something like this. It's a kind of mini material as well as questions and answers. So we have given like examples for extended, includes use cases. So we have explained about in extended use case, what is the relationships. And apart from the software testing related questions related to BA. And that's all. So it's going to be a few questions related to data modeling also. So we have nearly 162 and 67 questions. Okay, just go through this also, before applying for an interview. Okay, I'll send these things. Okay. So this is the complete documentation. Once you done with the requirements gathering. So once you've done with the use cases, activity diagrams, so you're going to put everything in the form of in one document. That is, you are going to be the SRS document, the FRD. Once based on the FRD and GRD, you're going to come up with the SRS. So this is going to be the final document. Okay, what you are going to prepare. So see this. So you're going to start with the problem analysis, the limitations with existing system. So what kind of limitations, disadvantages we have in the current system. So why you are going with the proposed system, that is going to be the next is going to be need for automation. What is exactly the need for automation? Why you are going with automation? So then what is the advantages with the proposed system that you are going to mention? Then this is going to be the section is a system analysis. So requirements collection. So what kind of questions you have asked? Now you went for interview, right? You normally go for requirements gathering. So you'll ask so many questions, and those things also you need to put up with answers, something like this. See the questions and answers. This is what the requirements gathering is all about. Okay. So apart from that, see any diagrammatical representation is needed, you have to write. And questions you have to ask, the methodologies, this fine, this is normal stuff. So here it is going to be your exact requirement specification document from here. So the current system, okay, definitions. See these many definitions we used in this particular system, see track ID, introducer ID. So you have to give the meaning of each and every acronym and abbreviation in the introduction section itself, so that people will understand. Suppose you have acronyms like, I mentioned ND. If you don't know what you mean by ND, there is no use. So if someone look at this document, even layman should understand this document and should understand the business process. That is how you need to prepare. Okay. So something like this. Just I'm showing for your reference, guys. So we're going to have module wise general constraints, so user interface requirements, all these things. See, this system is about MLM, so multi-level marketing project. So we have done for one client. Okay. This is related to specific system. Don't worry about this notation, this diagram. This diagram is related to a project, a particular project. Okay? See, here is the D of this. Rekha, you see here?
Just saw when I see that.
Rekha, is there? Right. So this is going to be the context level DFD for the LMA automation system. So we divided, we thought, okay, we are going to have a three actual entity. One is distributor, operator, and administrator. So when we are converting this context level into top level, just see this. So we have divided the main system into main processes. One is the registration, one is administration, one is incentive
I
calculation.
have a question. In this chart, like
accounting.
how we go for like
Okay.
straight line with arrow.
One
I was
is-
trying, but I did not know like how we do straight line. Yeah, Visio.
You can easily do that.
Okay. Thank you.
In Visio? Yes, yes. Yeah, I'll show you. Okay? I'll show you. Okay? So next, detailed DFD. Just look at this detailed DFD. So first detailed DFD for the administration module. See this. The registration module, the detailed DFD for the registration module, the accounts module. See, if someone look at the document, they need to import the incentive module. Next is going to be promotion module. So little bit patience is needed, guys. So this is going to be use cases. We have used both, like the structured analysis as well as object-oriented analysis. This is going to be the use case documentation. Yesterday what we discussed. Is that correct, guys? So we have mentioned typical course of events, the interactions. So alternative path, cost conditions, business rules, with the diagrams. Okay? See, this is going to be activity diagram. This is use case, right? Yeah. Okay, next one is going to be activity diagram. Give me 1 second, I'm going to. See, this is going to be activity diagram. See. Start and end. Okay. This is how we need to see. We have used here. Okay. We have foreground as well as merge and even branch also. These are complex systems, complex processes. Still being able to do it easily because you need to understand the concept, and we have prepared the documentation. Step 1, say what we have done. Step 2, step 3, same. Whatever you are putting in the form of diagram, you are going to mention in the form of documentation, theoretical way. Like this. For all the modules, you have prepared activity diagrams. Okay. Next, even we have designed the forms also, the markup screens. See, these are the sequence diagrams. Okay, that I'll explain later, sequence diagrams part. See, this is data modeling. Even we have designed forms also. See, the forms, markup screens also. These are markups. These are not original screens. These are the markups. So nearly
How
how
long
many
is
pages
the
I got?
description?
Nearly 125 pages document. So this project is done by me, for 6 years back. Okay, 6 years back I done this project. Not now, 6 years back. So it took me like nearly 4 months time. 4 months. 4 months I spent. Not for preparation of the document, for complete requirements analysis and documentation. Okay, so 4 months have spent because logic is complex in this project. Okay, so suppose it's MLM, right? So if one is going to join another is going to join. So if you I'll send this project also. Just go through this. Okay. You're going to get understanding. Okay. Is that clear, guys? And see, I'll show you one more simple thing also. I done for AT&T, I believe, this project. Let me give one moment. You don't need to worry exactly. What I mean to say is, it's very simple. You have to start the process. So nowadays people are not preparing these kind of documents. No one is ready to, read out like 150, 130 pages of document. People are asking for just prepare use case documentation, just to prepare, user stories, just only prepare markups. They don't do all these things. Okay, activity diagram, use cases, we have this. No, only do use cases or only do cross-functional flow diagrams. Okay. Mm. Some project we have done. I have assisted 2 year student, 1 or 2 year student. Just give me 1 second. I will show you real time project. Yeah, this guy is my student. See, this is simple BRD document prepared for, see, just see, this is simple business requirements document. See, the first is project overview. The second part is going to be the business requirements. Okay. And the next one is data capture requirements system. So, you're going to have a functional requirement, business requirements, data requirements also, right? So that is going to be, you can divide, okay, data capture requirements. Okay. Now, if you look at this document, so very simple document. This we have prepared for Wells Fargo, I believe. Not by me, this is one of my students prepared this. Okay, see, this is overall business flow diagram, context domain. Just we prepared some system flow chart, like this. Use cases. These are the markups for them. Company to company, people will prepare like, documents. Don't think that, only one document. Everyone will going to use the same template, the same stuff, and every project will going to have the same 120 pages and 130 pages of documents. It depends on the requirement and depends on the demand. You guys will going to do that. Okay? HBRD is there. I really want that. Okay. So I'll send this 1 or 2 sample projects. Just go through them. Okay? So that you'll get a fair understanding what you are going to do once you join with the company. Okay. Because you're going to put your project, so many projects in your resume, right? So if someone asks, how exactly you'll start, what do you mean by BRD? So how the BRD template is going to look like, what kind of content is going to be there. These things you need to learn, right? Once we're done with this theoretical stuff, like once we're done with activity diagrams and sequence diagrams, then we'll go with the template part. So as we're going to discuss about each and every template like BRD, FRD, SRS, change management, traceability matrix, okay, how to prepare meeting minutes. So these things I'm going to discuss with you guys. And once we're done with this, you're ready to apply for the jobs. As simple as much. Any doubts, any clarifications? But without understanding the template part, don't go for interviews. It's my suggestion, guys. Any doubts? Right. So let me go back. Okay. That's fine. Right. So this is going to be the activity diagram. So is everyone clear with the activity diagram? Okay. Then just we'll go with our next type of diagram, that is sequence diagram. Okay, before going to the sequence diagram, you need to understand few concepts. Just try to understand about few concepts. One is object. So you have to understand about object. The next one is you need to understand about class, and you need to understand about relationships. These three things you need to be clear. First is object, the second one is a class, and the other one is relationships. So the first we'll go with object. So what do you mean by object, guys? Any idea? What is the general meaning of object?
Purpose, something like.
That is objective.
Anything which
I'm saying object.
yeah, any item or anything which has some value.
Purpose is objective, right? Yeah, I think. Okay, good. So it's a physical entity, anything, right? So when we'll say it's an object, so we are
Yeah, it has
saying
the
the object
same
can be
value
a physical
as
entity. Right. So the normally, what's happening here? The object is divided into three things. So one is physical entities. The second one is conceptual entities, that's objects, and other one is software entities. The physical objects or entities can be anything, like your laptop, like your water bottle, whatever. But when it comes to the conceptual entities, it's kind of registration, ordering, okay, adding, updating. So these things is also called as physical conceptual entities. And when it comes to the software entities, you're going to have some kind of linked list which is related to the programming side. See, you don't need to worry about this. Just try to understand about this and this. So one is a physical entity, other one is conceptual entity. Now, first try to write down the definition of object first, so that you'll get clarity. Just write down. Object is a physical entity. Object is a physical entity which has state, identity, and behavior, as Andhra told. So every object should need to fulfill these three characteristics. The object should need to have a state and identity and as well as behavior. So if something is not fulfilling these three characteristics, so we are not going to say, we are going to say those things are not objects. So when you say object, the object should need to fulfill state, identity and behavior characteristics. Okay, it can be physical entity or it can be conceptual entity. Is everyone clear? So if you take a customer will going to have a state, identity and behavior. So if you take a bottle also, even bottle also will going to have a particular state and particular position, plus the state and the identity. So the weight, size and the behavior. Okay, you can fill water, you can what you can do, you can see water inside, so there is a chance. So these things are going to be behavior. So easily you need to remember this definition. So if you're able to remember this state, identity, and behavior concept,
Pawan, what
you
is the
can easily
example of
identify the
conceptual
object.
entity?
Anita, tell me.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Registration, ordering, any process related stuff, okay? The concept related stuff, okay? Right. Not seeing this list. Okay. Right. So, in those guys, about object, it's not objective, it is going to be object. Object is it's a entity, okay? Which has state, identity, and behavior. It can be physical, it can be conceptual, it can be software. Okay. Now we'll move to the class. Any idea?
Pawan, what are software?
What do you mean by class?
Software entity?
What do you mean by class? Linked list, pointers. So that is the programming side. Okay, don't worry about that.
Is it like type?
Okay. So what do you mean by class, guys? Any idea? Class. Class in object-oriented analysis and design. It's not general class. Okay, write down the definition of class. And, okay, write down the class definition. Class consisting of member variables and member functions. Later, first try to write down the definition. The class is a collection of member variables and member functions. That is first definition. The other definition for the class is object is instance of a class. Okay. The next definition is object is instance of a class. I will explain you the relationship between the class and object. Don't worry. Just try to understand. Okay. The object is instance of a class. Okay, this is big technical part. Okay, but don't worry. No one will going to ask all this stuff. But just for your information, for your understanding, I'm explaining. Otherwise, if I'm not explaining these three things, if I start with the sequence and class diagram, we are not going to understand clearly. Okay, that is the reason I'm explaining these three concepts. So object you clear, the class is collection of member variables and member functions. The other definition is the object is an instance of class. One more other definition you can write down. Class is a collection of objects. Class is a collection of objects. It's not truly correct. The definition is not truly correct. Like, even class is not going to have without objects also. Just what people will say, class is a collection of objects. Okay? Now, how we need to represent class in UML. That is very important now. So that, just try to
I
understand.
have a question.
Okay?
So what you're saying is class, it is like a generalization of a set of entities?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's more of a generic, like say Antara. Antara is like an object.
What do you mean
and
the generalization?
example of a class being Antara is a person.
Right, you are correct. I'm trying to explain the relationship between object and class. Okay? Yeah, you are
Yeah.
correct, Andhra. Hello? You got my point? Hello? Yeah. See, how we represent object in UML is we represent object UML using rectangle. I'm sorry. Okay. We use a rectangle notation to represent object in UML modeling. So with the colon. So in between you're going to have a colon. The right hand side you're going to have a class name. The left hand side you have to give object name. So that it will show the relationship between object and class. I'll give the example, don't worry. So in the class, we are going to use 3 compartmental box to represent class. We are going to use 3 compartmental box to represent class. Now if you look at, RAIL, if you travel in RAIL, you're going to have 3 things, right? One is upper berth, middle berth, and lower berth. Just try to remember this one, this tip. So upper berth always is going to be the class name, but don't say to anyone. This is upper berth, middle berth, lower berth. Okay, just say the class name, and for the middle one, the middle compartment, middle berth is going to be what we say attributes or member variables. Okay, member variables. The last one will say operations or member functions. Now, what is the definition of class? Our first definition of class?
Class is a class
Anyone?
consisting of
Anita, what is the definition of class?
and member function.
Just now we discussed. So, as I said, the class is a collection of member variables and member functions. Think that I am taking class as a customer. Okay, class name is a customer. What is the attributes for the class? For the customer, customer ID, customer name, customer address, customer SSN number. So these things called as attributes or member variables. So what customer can do? Customer can add, update, okay, then place or maybe whatever. So these things is going to be operations. So the customer class is a collection of member variables and functions. Member functions are operations. Both are same. So this is going to be the class. Think that if you, the same way you can go with the student class. One more example, student. Okay. This is the class name. And now you guys tell me what are the attributes we have for the student and what kind of operations we're going to have for the student. Andhra.
Department.
Tell me variables, attributes for students. Student ID, name, okay, department, some
Add,
okay.
register, drop.
Then what about operations? Student can add, okay, register, drop courses, add courses. So these things are operations to a class called as a student. Now, I want to understand the relationship between object and class. So, this is student class or maybe customer class or student class, and what is the objects we have for the student class and how the relationship is going to be. So, I am telling Ramu, okay, and I am telling Anita, and I am telling Shilpa. So, Ramu also is a student, Anita is also a student, and Shilpa also is a student. Okay, here these Ramu, Anil and Shilpa are objects. Objects to which class? Objects to which class, guys? Student class. So, the class, that is the reason we say the object is an instance of a class. So, we never going to talk about Ramu, Anita, Shilpa separately. So, those are objects. So we always think about the student. What student will do? Student will add the course, drop the course, delete the course or update the course. We never going to say Anita will add course, Anita will drop course, Shilpa will add course, Shilpa will drop course. We never going to say that. So that is the biggest difference between the object-oriented analysis and structured analysis. In the structured analysis, we'll say about Ramu and we'll say about Shilpa and Anita also. But in the object-oriented analysis, we only talk about the purpose rather than the structure. Okay? So this is the relationship between object and class. Suppose one more example I'll give so that you'll get clarity. Professor. Professor is a class.
Subject.
Okay? What are the attributes? Writer of the professor?
Subject,
attributes.
like what he can teach.
Tell me one or two of the attributes. First, basic things. Tell me basic things. Professor ID is going to have a name, is going to have a department.
Teach.
These are the attributes for the professor, right? So what professor can do? What are the operations? He can
take exams.
Teach, okay? Add schedule, create schedule. You can create the schedule also, right? You can drop the schedule also, right?
Exams for the student.
You can, what else you can do? Prepare, not take, right? Yeah. You're going to prepare exam question paper, maybe something like that. He is not going to write exam, right? So this is a professor. So, and a biotechnology professor. So what these things?
Object.
Professor is a professor. What about math? What about general science and physical science? So these are objects. Okay? These are objects to the class called as professor. So these objects act as an instance of a class. Right? Without this class, without this professor, these objects never going to exist in the process. Right? But when you go to the structured analysis, we're going to say, what about math? What about science? What about physical? So tell me the structure. Just write down the structure of math professor. Write down the structure of related on how it does rather than what it does. Okay? So this is going to be the difference between the object and class, and this is going to be the relationship between the object and class. Is that clear, guys? Any doubts about object and class? Good. Anyone else? Right. So the next thing you need to understand about relationships. So, as of now we understand the object and we understand about the class. We need to understand the relationship between the classes also, right? We cannot just give a relationship between one class to other class. So we're going to have a different kind of relationships. Try to understand them. The first one is association. Just write down there. Association. So 1.1 is aggregation. 1.2 is composition. The second one is dependency. Third one, generalization. Fourth one is realization. So these are the different types of relationships we have. So this you need to understand this relationship. I have a complete PPT for this. I'll send you that also. Yes, please mute. Okay. This is complete PPT for OAD. If you really get time, then only go through this PPT. Otherwise, don't touch this PPT. Okay? This is the method. Association, aggregation, composition, dependency, generalization, realization. Okay? First we'll go with the association. So what do you mean by association? We have used the same notation somewhere in our diagrams where we have used this association relationship. Just keep in mute, guys. So anyone? So where we have used this association relationship between what and what? So far we discussed about association. Hello. So we have discussed about association in use cases. So what kind of relationship will give between actor and system? We'll give association notation only, right? Between actor and system. Here also same thing. Just try to understand one by one. See, this is an example for association. It's a simple thing. Just try to understand one by one. The first one is professor class. The next one is university class. Just try to observe. The professor having a relationship with the university. Okay, what kind of relationship it is? It is association because it's a direct relationship between the professor and university, and professor works for the university. So what is the association name here? So he works for the university. So how we represent the association in UML? With a straight line or with arrow.
What you're saying is that it's a relationship between classes or objects.
Two classes, not objects. That is the reason I told. We never talks about objects. The object is going to be within classes only.
I mean, a relationship between classes and objects and objects.
The object is the instance of a class, right? Again, why we need to talk about class?
Okay.
Definite. No, it's a relationship between classes, not even objects. Okay? Because when one class is interacting with the other class, indirectly objects only interacting. Okay? See, professor will going to have a different object, right? Smith, math, science. So when professor class is interacting with the university class, internally, the objects only is going to communicate. Okay? Based on the purpose. If the math professor math object need to be communicated, math object will going to communicate. But in a high level, in a pictorial representation, we'll only show the relationship between the classes. We're never going to show the relationship between the objects. Okay? So, if you see professor and university, here role names. So you can even define the role names for the classes also. The professor is employee and the university is an employer. So you can represent role names also in UML modeling. Okay. This is association. Next is aggregation. Just write down guys. Aggregation. Anyway, I'll send this PPT. Just try to understand the concept. First, try to see what notation we are going to use for the aggregation. So we are going to use this notation for aggregation. Okay. What is that? Hello. Any doubts? So aggregation is a special form of association that models a whole part relationship between the whole and part. It means that the student is a whole here and the schedule is a part. So when you are giving a relationship between the student, schedule to student, what relationship you have to use? You have to use aggregation. Because it's a whole part relationship. Okay. Yes, we'll do one thing. Today, I would like to stop the session. I'm not feeling well. Okay.
Yeah, on Monday, na?
Tomorrow we'll continue again. Not tomorrow, right? So we don't have a class tomorrow and day after tomorrow. Is that correct? Yeah. On Monday we won't have a class. So by that time we're going to complete assignments. Right, Rekha?
Pawan, please don't forget to send essay use case session for me.
Said yes. Happy weekend.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you.
The recorded sessions, right? I'll do that. I'll do it now itself.
Yeah, that is correct.
Okay? Rekha,
Thank
for
you,
you,
Pawan.
it's a 4th and 5th, right?
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll send you now. Okay? No issues. Bye guys.